Well, it's November 4th, 2019, and I'm on another really cool property. This one is near the town of Eureka, Wisconsin, which is Polk County. I'm just north of St. Croix Falls County, St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin. Really nice little parcel here, 28 acres. It's got everything. It's got a creek, it's got a lake. It's a good looking piece of land. I'm on could be considered a building site here. Maybe a great little place to build a cabin. And I'm gonna see if I can get a shot of this, but down below me down here is a nice little pond. Earlier this spring, I photographed this and it had a lot of wood ducks and geese taking off. So we're gonna take a walk around this property. I'll show you around, but it's a good looking place at a great price. You don't find properties like this close to the Twin Cities and at a price of just over $100,000. So check it out. It's a cold day. My lips are getting numb. Come on, I'll take you along. We'll show you what this looks like. Well, I'm back out on the property here and I'm overlooking the pond. You know, what's nice about this property is you own much of the shoreline here. And I could tell you, I came out here this summer, loaded with ducks. There was geese flying. I was kicking up mallards and wood ducks. Just a good looking property. And again, you just can't find features like this on properties this close to the Twin Cities. You could come out here for the weekend, camp up on top, do a little duck hunting, do a little bow hunting. And as you're gonna see by the photos that I'm gonna put on here, the owner scored this year, so definitely has some potential. A couple building sites perhaps. Just a good looking little property, really nice. So I'm back in the timber now of this property. A lot of softwoods mixed with some early successional growth in some of the areas that have been thickened up by windfalls. Some hardwoods. I see a couple oaks. Just a good looking property. I'm overlooking the pond. This is a really cool place. The pond is just down below there. I see some nice trails coming through here from deer. And I'm going to head over to another ridge. Looks like we got a maple hardwood ridge. We'll check that out and see what that looks like next. You know, when I first bought my first piece of property and I had a water feature. Water is always a good thing, especially when it's scenic like this. But for me, what it really did was it added to that mystique of having that up north place, kind of like a Terry Redlin painting. And the biodiversity around these water features is fantastic. Here we got a beaver working on this tree, and this is fresh, and he's been cutting this down, and I see sign of beaver activity everywhere. And he's chewed off the bark, and no doubt out here someplace he's got his winter den. The water is freezing over, but they'll take this food here, carry it underwater into their den, and they'll survive all year round inside that den. They may pop up out here in an open spot every now and then, but for the most part, they go in their dens, they have their young, and they show up in the spring. Just a cool feature. I love the biodiversity. It's really cool. We talked about this before, guys, and that is finding properties that have some investment quality, but it's something you can use now and enjoy now, maybe build on, but eventually turn it over for a profit. This property, as an example, is close to the Minneapolis-St. Paul Metro. We're probably within an hour of 1 million people. And these little parcels are really hard to find. People want to get out of town. They want to come, enjoy a piece of land, and get back home for the day. Or maybe just pop out here in the evening, do a little hunting, a little enjoyment, camp out. So this is a really good example of that. Getting in front of the demographic growth, or getting the path of demographic growth, and that's exactly what you got here. I like to find these parcels. If you're looking for an investment, something you can enjoy now, maybe make some money on later, this is a great example of what to look for, guys. Just a great example. When you're looking at properties of mine, or if you're out looking at your own, you gotta sometimes look kind of outside of what the normal person's eye looks for in a property and places value, because not every property has huge, big timber, marketable timber to be cut, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have value. And here's a good example. So this is a wetland area, and I've been walking through the hardwoods, as you can see. This is biodiversity, and I keep talking about that word, but I think that's a marketable term that people look for because they like the hunting, they like the outdoor opportunities that wetlands provide and the water to provide and the woods provide. So when I come and look at properties, I don't just look at the basic things of timber and place to build. I look for stuff like this because if marketed correctly, you put trail cameras in here, you come in here and you enjoy it, you create the mystique of owning land with your marketing, and then you list with me. That's how you sell these properties for top dollar, and that's what I tend to do. So look for the biodiversity, look for things that are outside of the norm, and then market that with food plot pictures, trail cam pictures, deer pictures. Just record your enjoyment of the property to help you sell it. You know, when I was a kid, I used to love coming to these woodlots. This was my playground, and we'd come out and explore, and there was a creek, or we'd have fun in that. We'd build forts and just have a good time. Just be kids, be dirty, explore, use our imagination. And I think that's something that's lost on a lot of our properties these days. Not every piece is going to be used for deer hunting or any hunting for that matter, but it can often just be a great addition to your family, and it's an investment that's worth making. I know that I attribute a lot of who I am to my experiences in the woods, so it's just something to think about. Sometimes I just like to sit here on a log like this and just listen. Just let nature talk.